What's going on, guys? Today we're going to be going over my recap and breakdowns for UFC Fight Night Cannonier versus Rodriguez. Let's get straight into the first fight. Julia Avila versus Jacqueline Cavalcanti. Cavalcanti's striking was the story of this fight. This was a lock for me. She was just the cleaner, better, more composed striker. Beat her to pretty much every punch, putting together better combos, better timing. She was just better everywhere on the feet. Avila, I don't know. She's a part timer. She doesn't really take her career as serious. Cavalcanti wants to be a champion. Avila is I feel like she's kind of just doing this for money. Whereas Cavalcanti actually wants to be a champion. She actually has that motivation, so that really showed through in this fight. Just outstruck her. Avila did get a takedown and had a little bit of control, but Cavalcanti, she got back up, and Avila didn't really get any ground and pound going, so not much there. And yeah, Cavalcanti's striking just looked pretty crisp in this fight. That's all there is to it. Let's move on to the next fight. Walter Walker submits Dontel Mays in the first round with another heel hook. That's two back-to-back first-round heel hook submissions. Dude, this guy's improving rapidly compared to how he looked in his first UFC fight against Lucas Burschke, and then looking at the Junior Taffa and Dontel Mays fights. This guy's improved a lot. Everything. He's taking guys down with ease and just subbing them on the ground now. Ever since like I swear in the Lucas Burschke fight, he was like off his cycle. Like he wasn't on roids in that fight because he looked fat, he looked slow, he looked plotty. And then you look at him against Junior Taffa and against Dontel Mays especially. His body type just looks so different. Like he looks jacked, he looks toned, in shape. He's not fat. He has like abs in those fights. And like against Lucas Burschke, we didn't see that. So maybe they caught him off his cycle in that fight, but all in all, Walter Walker, great performance. I think this guy can be ranked. He's got a dangerous submission game, great heel hook abilities. That's two back-to-back heel hooks in the first round in his last two fights against Junior Taffa and Dontel Mays. So some pretty impressive stuff. He's improved a lot, and I can't wait to see where this guy goes. Johnny Walker's brother gets the win. Let's move on to the next fight. Vince Morales versus Elijah Smith. I knew the Elijah Smith by KO was a little bit iffy because Vince Morales is very tough. Elijah Smith, he has power, but not this like fucking one hit, knock your lights out, you know, granite chin killer type power. But I did say Elijah Smith would probably still get the decision. He'd have the cleaner striking, he'd stay composed, and he'd have enough grappling to, be competitive with Vince Morales. And I didn't think he'd out-grapple Vince Morales, that's the thing. He out-grappled Vince Morales in this fight and outstruck him. So, clean performance from Elijah Smith. His boxing looked great. He had a great jab. His counters were looking good. He was just faster than Vince Morales. Morales was getting impatient there. He was getting impatient. He was really just trying to force a KO, trying to force something big, but Elijah Smith was staying composed, and it really helped him in this fight. You can't force stuff, man. You can't force these KO shots unless you're in like a heavyweight, unless you're in like heavyweight or light heavyweight, one of those big weight classes. Down here at bantamweight, you can't force a KO. You got to find the counter. You got to find the shot. You got to wait for it to come to you. You can't force it. And Vince Morales just tried too hard to get it, and Elijah Smith just capitalized on that. Great counter shots. Vince Morales was landing a good jab, but Elijah's jab was just better. It was just sticking more. And yeah, Elijah Smith gets the decision win. Great performance. And honestly, this guy's clean, man. This guy's a clean striker. And he has grappling in the back pocket. Like, Vince Morales is a pretty solid grappler. And Elijah Smith just completely out-grappled him. Not like completely, like the grappling was close, but Elijah Smith was the better, he was the better man in every aspect of MMA tonight. And yeah, Elijah Smith gets the win by decision. Let's move on to the next fight. Gabriel Bonfim versus Chaos Williams. I went with Chaos Williams as an underdog to get this one done. Gabriel Bonfim gets the second round submission by Darce choke. Clean performance from Gabriel Bonfim. Chaos, man, he's just predictable against these, better guys. I know I said Bonfim was overrated and who has he beat and who has he fought, but like, again, like, if you have like some fight IQ, you can survive Chaos Williams as long as you don't slip up. Chaos Williams, man, he just loops these shots, man. Just constant looping overhands, right hooks. And Bonfim, they were either landing on the guard of Bonfim or he was just ducking completely out of the way. And Chaos Williams was hitting air tonight. Couldn't really get anything landed. And Bonfim, man, he was timing a lot of really good takedowns. And then eventually finds his way to a Darce choke and submits Chaos Williams. Clean performance. Chaos Williams is a tough dude. Doing Chaos Williams like that is pretty impressive. So, maybe I was over hating on Gabriel Bonfim. Maybe I was not giving him enough credit because that was a really good performance. But yeah, Gabriel Bonfim submits Chaos Williams in round two. Let's move on to the next fight. Rafael Estevam versus Jesus Aguilar. Rafael Estevam gets the win by unanimous decision. As I predicted, he gets it done pretty cleanly. He did slow down in the third round, same as in the Charles Johnson fight, but I don't know. That's just kind of what you're expecting from Estevam. Dominant grappling in the first two rounds, and then he slows down in the third. That's why I predicted the 29-28 because I knew Jesus would start getting a little bit, aggressive in that third round. But man, the takedowns were the story of the fight in this one. First round, Rafael goes 5 for 6 on takedowns. Second round, he goes 5 for 7, taking Jesus down at will, controlling him on the ground with ease. 3 minutes and 50 seconds of control time in round 1, 4 minutes and 30 seconds in round 2. He just gave Jesus no time to breathe, just took him down easily, controlled him, and man, Jesus was getting frustrated with how easily he was getting taken down. That takedown defense desperately needs some work. But man, round 3, I was getting nervous, man. Jesus was picking up the pace a lot. He was throwing a lot of aggressive shots, and Rafael, man, he started slowing down a lot in that third round. Kind of just started shelling up and, trying to move around, not get KO'd. And I was really scared. I thought Jesus was going to put him down, but he survived, and Rafael gets the win, 29-28 unanimous. Great win for Rafael Estevam. Man, this guy's grappling is legit. Like, he takes people down with ease in those first 2 rounds. I know he can slow down in the third round, which does kind of worry me about like a 5 rounder, because like, dude, if you're slowing down that much in the third round, and like, I don't know, man, like it doesn't even look like he's gassed out, but he can't take his opponent down anymore, and he's barely throwing any strikes, so he obviously is slowing down. If he's slowing down in the third round, either in a 5 rounder he's done for completely, or he's got to slow it down in those first 2 rounds, because he puts on a crazy grappling pace in those first 2 rounds, and then third round he just starts to slow down. So maybe he's got to work on that if he wants to be successful in 5 rounders, because if this guy gets a 5 round fight anytime soon, I don't think he will obviously, but if he does anytime soon, or when he does get his first 5 round fight, if I'm still seeing these type of performances where he gasses up in the third, I'm probably picking against him in a 5 rounder. I'm not gonna lie to you. If he's looking like that, he gassed out in the Charles Johnson fight in the third round. Same with this fight. I probably won't pick him in a 5 rounder unless he fixes that. So yeah, man. But all in all, he's unstoppable in the first 2 rounds. So in a 3 rounder, you got to pick him. And yeah, Rafael Estevam gets it done. Let's move on to the next fight. Angela Hill versus Ketlin Souza. I went with Ketlin Souza as an underdog. I don't know. The lines on this one were pretty weird. They were moving a lot. Angela Hill was an underdog at one point. Then Souza moved to the underdog. Then it moved to like even or something. I don't know. But when I made my prediction video, Ketlin Souza was the underdog. So I just put her as my underdog pick. But I don't know. I'm just gonna keep it there, I guess. But yeah, Angela Hill gets the split decision win over Ketlin Souza. I kind of disagree with this decision. I thought Ketlin Souza should have won that. It was a very, very close fight. Extremely close. And maybe if I rewatched the fight, I would change my opinions. But just from what I remember, Angela Hill was landing with better numbers. She was landing with more volume, more output. But Souza was just landing better, like with harder punches. Her punches were doing more damage. And like, she was in the first round, like, okay, first round, Hill's up on numbers, but Souza's punches seem to be doing a little bit more. And she gets the takedown and has 3 minutes of control time. So like, yeah. Second round, Angela Hill again, little up on striking volume, but Souza can't really get the takedowns going. But I don't know, like her punches are just doing more. Like Hill is up like in the numbers, like she's throwing with more volume, and she's landing more. But Souza's landing harder, and it's a damage-based scoring system. So I don't know. Maybe I'd have to go rewatch the fight. Um, and I don't know. Maybe I'll come back and let you guys know what I think. But I don't know, man. I thought Ketlin Souza should have won that decision, but maybe I'm just coping. Maybe I just wanted to get my pick right. But yeah, anyways, Angela Hill gets the decision win. Not a robbery. Could have went either way. I'm just saying that I should have. I'm just saying that I personally gave it to Ketlin Souza. But yeah, let's move on to the next fight. Jose Delgado versus Connor Matthews. Jose Delgado gets the first round TKO. This was kind of expected. We all knew Connor Matthews didn't really have a chance. Yeah, couldn't really get anything going. Tried for some takedowns. He did get a few takedowns and have a little bit of control, but Delgado got up pretty easily and just found the right shots and put him down. Great performance from Jose Delgado. Connor Matthews, man, I don't know, man. Connor Matthews, he's just not very good. I'm not gonna lie, he just isn't good, and I don't know if he's UFC level right now. So I don't know, man. Jose Delgado, though, great performance, and yeah, I don't know. I don't really have anything to say about this fight. Good win. Let's move on to the next fight. Rodolfo Vieira versus Andre Petrosky. Andre Petrosky gets the decision win. Another iffy decision, man. I thought Vieira should have won that. It seems like I'm coping a lot because I picked Vieira and I picked Souza and they both lost, and I'm both talking about how they should have won, but I promise it's not cope. Maybe I have to go back and rewatch the fights. But like, I don't know, maybe I could just be remembering wrong. I gave round 1 and 3 to Rodolfo Vieira. Like, Petrosky got round 2. I thought Vieira should have won that. He was just hitting, like, the numbers were close, But like even on numbers, Vieira was landing more, and he was landing at a higher percentage, and he was landing with more power, and he was getting him up against the cage. He was clinching him. He should have done more with the clinching though. He should have got him up, maybe held him there a bit longer, some elbows in the clinch, some knees to the body, knees to the thigh. He should have just done more with the clinching instead of just, immediately letting go and getting back to the feet because it was very competitive in the striking, but even in the striking, Vieira was hitting harder and he was landing a little bit more, like a couple strikes more each round, and he was landing at a higher percentage. So I don't know, maybe they seen the little bit more volume from Petrosky, and that's what bumped him over. But like I don't know, man. Like I also thought Petrosky was gonna do a little bit more with the wrestling. I thought he was gonna shoot more takedowns, which would end up I thought he was gonna shoot more takedowns on Vieira, which would lead him to getting submitted. I know that's a really dumb thing to do, shoot takedowns on a guy like Rodolfo Vieira, but dude, MMA fighters are retarded. Like we gotta understand this. Some MMA fighters have some of the lowest IQ I've ever seen in my life. So I don't think it was that wild of a prediction to say that Petrosky was going to shoot a bunch of takedowns on Rodolfo Vieira and get submitted because some UFC fighters are fucking stupid. So yeah, but man, I don't know. I thought Vieira should have won that. Good win for Petrosky though. Definitely a close fight. And I don't know, man. Robbery or not, I don't know. I don't know if I'd call it a Maybe I would though, because I'm more confident in this fight being a robbery than the Angela Hill fight. I thought the Angela Hill fight could have went either way. Definitely not a robbery. Just could have went either way. I personally scored it for the other fighter though. This one's different. I don't know. I personally thought Vieira should have won this, but I don't know. Maybe again, maybe I'd have to go rewatch the fight. I don't know. I could be remembering wrong, but the numbers and I remember Vieira hitting harder and the clinching. From what I remember, Vieira should have won this fight. But yeah, let's move on to the next one. Ismail Bonfim versus Nazim Sadikov. I went with Nazim Sadikov in this fight, and I got my pick right. Nazim Sadikov gets the first round TKO by doctor stoppage. Unfortunate stuff for Bonfim. It was a really weird thing that happened. Let's break down the first round. First round, both of them are coming out. Both of them are looking aggressive. Bonfim, though, he's looking a lot faster. His jab is looking good. His right hands. He lands a bunch of big shots on Nazim, kind of pushes him back. Nothing really like rocks him too bad, but he is outstriking Nazim. He is landing the better strikes. And then near the end of the first round, Nazim lands a nasty question mark kick and just cuts Bonfim open, rocks him. Bonfim gets on the retreat, and Nazim just starts hunting him down, lands a bunch of good shots, and that, in my opinion, stole the first round for Nazim Sadikov. He gets the first round, and then the doctors step in. Something was wrong with Nazim's eye, or no, Bonfim's eye. My apologies. Something was wrong with Bonfim's eye, and the doctors are kind of checking it out, and apparently he was like, they asked him if he could see, and he was like, it looked like he was shaking his head yes, but it also looked like he was saying no or something, or like, I don't know. There's like a whole weird thing. But yeah, Bonfim couldn't see. They called the fight off, and Nazim Sadikov gets the first round TKO by doctor stoppage. Great performance. Even though he was kind of losing the majority of that first round, he stole it with that nasty question mark kick. This guy's got the power to change the tide of a fight with one strike, and he's a very fun fighter. Really excited to see where this guy goes. But yeah, let's move on to the next fight. Edmund Shabazian gets the first round TKO over Dylan Budka. Nasty right hand, puts him down. Dude, Edmund Shabazian, for those of you who don't know, is one of my favorite fighters. I fuck with Edmund Shabazian heavy, and dude, I was really excited when he KO'd Dylan Budka. That was a sick performance, sick shot, sick KO. And man, I predicted it perfectly. Just a first round TKO. And this was another lock of the card for me, I'm not gonna lie. Dylan Budka's terrible, and Edmund Shabazian is underrated, man. He's really good. I fuck with Edmund Shabazian heavy, and yeah, this was the only other lock of the card for me, this and the Cavalcanti fight. So I got both my lock picks correct. So that's good. We're 100% so far. We are 100% so far on locks. Me and you, the viewer, are 100% on lock picks so far in 2025. So hopefully we can keep that going. If I can keep that lock pick stat above like a 65%, that would be great. But yeah, Edmund Shabazian gets the first round TKO over Dylan Budka. Man, Edmund Shabazian, great to see him win a fight. Um, I'm saying that like he just loses constantly, but like I just like seeing Edmund Shabazian win. Like I said, he's one of my favorite fighters. So, yeah, man, great win for Edmund Shabazian. Let's get on to the next fight. Calvin Kattar versus Yusuf Zalal. Yusuf Zalal gets the decision win. I got my pick right. Yeah, man, Kattar. Dude, I'm a fan of Calvin Kattar, man, but he just looks so flat in his recent fights. Like he can't get any output going. Just he just freezes up, man. It doesn't throw any volume. And Yusuf Zalal took advantage of that. A lot of people were getting mad at Yusuf Zalal after the fight, saying he was just running away, which was true for part of the fight. He was running a lot at times, but dude, he was still outstriking Calvin Kattar, letting the better jab and like threatening takedowns. And the running part, like I understand getting mad at that. Like Yusuf Zalal, you don't really want to see him just run away the entire time. Like you want to see him like stand there and actually like trade shots, I guess, with Calvin Kattar. But like that's a dangerous game to play, man. Yusuf Zalal was just fighting smart. Like that's just a smart way to fight Kattar. Like you don't want to stand there in boxing range and just box with Calvin Kattar because he has nasty power and very fast hands. He has the power to put anybody out. And Yusuf Zalal was just doing smart. Was just doing what was smart and not engaging in a brawl or a back and forth scrap with Calvin Kattar because most people lose that against Calvin Kattar when it comes to those brawls and stuff. And in the third round, man, Calvin Kattar really started putting it on. And I don't know, man, Yusuf Zalal, okay, the third round, he ran a lot in that third round, I'm not gonna lie. He was just completely running from Calvin Kattar. And Kattar, he was just being super aggressive, but like he needed to use that aggression like throughout the entire fight, not just in the third round. Like the first two rounds, he couldn't get any output going. Like it's not even like he was throwing and then fucking Zalal was just running so he couldn't hit him. No, he just wasn't even throwing strikes, which has been a big problem for Kattar in recent performances. So I don't know, man. Kattar, he just can't compete with these high level guys anymore because he's just been figured out, I guess. Just don't engage in a brawl with Calvin Kattar, and he'll find it hard to throw this volume. He'll find it hard to throw volume. So yeah, man, good win for Yusuf Zalal. Um, yeah, let's move on to the main event. Jared Cannonier versus Gregory Rodriguez. I got this one wrong. I picked Gregory Rodriguez. Jared Cannonier gets the fourth round TKO. This is a super fun fight, man. Very entertaining. And man, I thought after the first round, Gregory Rodriguez was going to get this win because, dude, he dropped him twice in the first round. He was looking super good, super dangerous. He was landing some huge right hands on Cannonier, which was hurting him and rocking him. And, dude, Gregory Rodriguez is a massive middleweight. This guy is fucking gigantic. He looks like a light heavyweight. Genuinely, he actually looks like a light heavyweight. This guy's fucking huge. But, man, Jared Cannonier, he's just getting pieced up, beaten up in the first round. Second round, Jared Cannonier starts making a bit of a comeback. He's landing the jabs, he's landing right hands. Rodriguez isn't really getting as much output going, not really able to find the shots. And it's looking good for Jared at this point. And then, kind of near the end of the second round, Gregory Rodriguez starts making a bit of a comeback himself. A lot of back and forth action in this fight. Gregory Rodriguez, end of the second round, lands a couple big shots and hurts Cannonier a few times. Third round, the tide starts shifting even more into Gregory Rodriguez's favor. He's landing more shots, landing bigger punches, rocking Cannonier. It's looking good for Rodriguez at this point. And then boom, end of the third round, they clinch up. Cannonier lands a huge elbow, which puts down Gregory Rodriguez, and he almost finishes it with ground and pound, but he gets saved by the bell. I thought they were about to call it there. I'm not gonna lie, he was looking rough. But yeah, start of the fourth round. Gregory still kind of rocked from that elbow and the ground and pound, and Gregory he just didn't have anything left in the tank, and Jared just started teeing off on him and KO'd him like 20 seconds into the fourth round or something. But yeah, man, great win for Jared Cannonier. At 40 years old, he still has good cardio, good conditioning. He's still durable. A lot of people talk about Cannonier being chinny, but like, dude, I don't know. He is chinny, but he has some of the best recovery in the sport. Like his recovery is so good. He just bounces back up and then comes back. Like yes, he got chinned by Amavov and rocked, but like Amavov didn't drop him, and that was also a bit of an early stoppage. And then you look at the Kaio fight, where you remember that being a KO for Kaio, but no, that was a decision. I know, honestly, that fight probably should have been called. Kaio pretty much put Cannonier out cold, but dude, Cannonier's tough, man. Uh, like you remember the Whitaker fight where he got dropped bad with a head kick and then came back and recovered. But like, man, Cannonier's tough. People talk about him being chinny, but like he is chinny. He gets dropped, he gets rocked, but he's so hard to actually put away because of how good his recovery is. And I should have seen that going into this fight. Gregory Rodriguez isn't at the level of an Amavov or a Kaio where he's going to be able to find that finish on a high level recovery artist like Jared Cannonier. But I put a lot of hype into his power. He looked very dangerous. I'm not going to cope. It is what it is. Great win from Jared Cannonier. He looked great in this fight, and I'm excited to see what he does next. Let's move on to the official recap. I went 8 for 12 on correct picks. I'm pretty happy about that. Fight of the night, easily Cannonier versus Rodriguez. Back and forth war. Had me on the edge of my seat the entire time. And Cannonier versus Rodriguez also gets the best finish. Man, dude, that whole fight was just sick, man. That has fight of the year contender written all over it. That was super fun. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.